What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Writers Room presented by Breaking and Entering. I'm Alan Hallis. I am joined, as always, by my River West cohort, the music director for Breaking and Entering, host of the Mr. Nice Guy podcast, contributor to the Shepherd Express, host, head of Nice Guy PR, host of Midcoast, I think, too? Like, possibly?
No, not that one. But
all around good.
We do love Midcoast.
Yes, all around good dude. Mr. Ben Slowey is here hanging out with us. Ben, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Good to see you, Alan. I'm tired. Yeah, it's been a hectic day, but coming along, staying on top of things. It's the first day of fall, and we do have some nice fall, like some cool, cloudy fall weather, which I feel is just in time.
Yeah, it's hoodie season. It's officially hoodie season.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, very solid. So we're coming off a really crazy weekend, too, with a lot of live music.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of live music that Ben has covered. I got done with Summerfest. There's 3 weekends of that. Ben also got out there. You've been at Pitchfork Music Festival, I think, since we last did this. So we got a lot to catch up on. But before we do that, let's kick things off with some music. How about we do that?
Yes.
So this first video that we're getting into this week is by Murphy K. You may know her as Wanderslut was her previous name, or you may know her as Gabby from Akko. She's making some great music as a solo artist. And I have to say, I really like Murphy K's TikTok presence, which I don't know. I am not the target demographic for it, but Murphy K knows how to do some pretty good TikToks. So enjoy this first video. It's Joyride. I almost said Joy Wave, who played at Summerfest. It's Joyride. It's all vertical, but it's here on the Writers Room. Check it out. That was Joyride by Murphy K here on the Writers Room. Really like what she's doing. A lot of great singer songwriter stuff. I like the whole Meltwater Pulse collective. The school of thought that they have, where it's a group of musicians and artists and people that get together that to play on each other's songs, and it's not necessarily a band, not necessarily a record label, but it's more of like if you need strings, somebody can play strings on your record.
Yeah.
If you need a guitar, they got a guitarist that can play. So just the collaborative effort to making music is super cool.
Yeah, you can tell that like they all have a lot of respect and regard for one another. Like they're all friends, but also like really connect a lot over that collaboration. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to Murphy K.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Streetlight Society, who are in our Instagram chat right now saying what up. Shout out to them. And I saw Twan Mac is in our Instagram as well. So shout out to him. And that's a good segue into Summerfest. We saw some live music, Ben and I. We did see Twan Mac. We saw, we saw Amanda Huff and you win, or I did. And we actually got to go see shows together for
Yeah.
the first time in quite some time since we saw Twan Mac at Captain Cap's Pilot House. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. Yeah, it was like weird to see you in the flesh almost, but yeah, that was a great time on Friday night. We saw Future Islands, which are an amazing live band to see for anyone who likes synth pop and very elaborate dance moves from the front man.
Yes, and lots of elaborate dancing that I was frankly not prepared for.
Yeah. And then we saw Run the Jewels, and shout out to my friend Justine for helping talk to the security guard so that we could get in the pit and party our asses off, which you and our friend Matt Mueller were also in the pit. So we were standing about 10 feet away from each other all night, and that was a killer show.
That makes it sound like we don't like each other at all. We were standing 10 feet away from each other. No, it was so packed that we got to hang out at Run the Jewels. We were also about 10 feet away from Killer Mike and LP, which was pretty amazing to watch those dudes rap live. Saw Future Islands, like you said, as well, and I had not listened to Future Islands, I don't think, in quite some time. So I was not prepared for the craziness of how big their sound is, and actually the crowd that they had was amazing. For an 8 o'clock show, they were killing it. So Ben, I have to ask you though, because you were there and I was there for pretty much every night of Summerfest and all 3 weekends, but you were there for the one night to check it out. What is your opinion of Summerfest in the fall? Your 2021 Summerfest. Did it feel like the normal Summerfest experience for you?
Well, that's a good question because I felt the same way after Pitchfork that I almost honestly, I prefer a festival in September than I do in the middle of July. I know that it's obviously Summerfest, like that's the whole novelty of the fest is that it is in the middle of summer and it's one big long string of time.
Normally it's like 11 days. Also quick shout out to Gego Inoni, who were headliners at the Miller Lite Oasis on the last night. I got to go see their set. I got to watch that from the Miller Lite Oasis deck. That was pretty cool. But so anyway, as you were saying, a little different, being in the fall.
So honestly, I liked Pitchfork a lot. Being there in September, it wasn't too hot. It was like a solid 75, 80 degrees. Perfect weather for live music. Just a lot more comfortable than being in the really in the thick of the summer heat in July. And I felt the same way about Summerfest. It was warm this weekend, so it still felt like Summerfest for sure.
Absolutely.
Nothing
Yeah.
felt different about it. Um, but uh, but yeah, I mean, I it felt strangely normal.
Yeah.
Just being back
Yeah.
in both spaces, because like that's the kind of the beauty of what live music does. It ensnares you in the present moment, and nothing like matters except for what's right in front of you in that moment. Um and that's a really important feeling to hold on to, especially because a lot of the world still really fucking sucks right now. So to just be present with live music that we haven't gotten the chance to share with people in such a long time, it hits different,
Yeah.
So
As the kids
yeah,
say,
it
it
felt
hits
great.
different.
I was totally fine with it being
Yeah.
uh in September, and I wouldn't mind it if it was in September every year.
Well, they won't be next year. It'll be June and July, but it'll be 3 weekends again next year. And I think that that aspect of things was very interesting. I think that it's something that I actually mentioned this on Facebook with somebody else a couple days ago, that the concept of having 3 weekends is going to be foreign to a lot of people. For the people that have done this forever and have gone every single year, and they're used to taking off and going for 11 straight days or whatever it is. But I think that it makes more sense from a booking standpoint, from an entertainment standpoint. To You can get better acts to come out on a weekend because you're enticing them with a better show. So I think it's going to take a few years for that to come around. The idea of doing weekends and only Thursday, Friday, Saturday for 3 weeks straight. Um, but I think once it does, it's going to raise the profile of Summerfest from a national standpoint. And I think it's going to present itself as, from a talent buying standpoint, a lot more appealing to acts that might not otherwise come here because they can be here on a weekend when there's no other festivals in the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, like no, that's a good way to look at it. I think it was a good formula. It's not. It also allows for a bit of a kind of like a recharge for the show goers to
mhm.
you know like process one chunk of it at a time. I think that's like a kind of like a good way to pace it.
Yeah.
Um, Also, while we're just on the topic of shows, I went to a couple local shows in the last few weeks as well.
Yeah, I saw in particular a Snapchat that looked like it was an absolutely crazy show. But I think that's the second one that you went to this weekend, and we'll talk about the first one first.
yeah,
We'll
so
go in order, sort of.
yeah. Well, I did catch a show at Linneman's on Saturday, um, with I covered Social Sig, who I know you're a big fan of.
Yeah, he's got a great record out. They've got a great record out to check out, for sure. If you have not heard the Social Sig record, do
Yeah,
it
and
because I'm a big fan.
I told him that when I talked to him, I was like, "Yeah, Alan really talked your record up." He was like, "No way, really? That's awesome!" He was like super happy about it. But yeah, I was intrigued after listening to the record to see like a set from Social Sig, and this was like with his full band, frontman Parker Schultz, and yeah, it's a super energetic and like personable and just fun, like indie surf pop show.
Mhm.
That it's very like smiley music. And Parker's a very smiley guy. So yeah, the music was on brand for um, like just the guy's demeanor, and it also just um, I don't know. I feel like the band's name feels appropriate for the kind of music it is. It's kind of got that like hazy lo-fi feel.
Yeah, almost a
Um,
little gritty, almost a little like, but yeah, Smiley is a really good way to put it. Yeah, that
yeah,
now that you say that, I'm like, yes, that totally makes sense.
yeah. So got to talk to him, do a little write up on the the band, and then we got treated by Diet Light after that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the most packed I've seen Linneman's.
Yeah, that
Like
was the one in particular that I saw the crazy Snapchat of just kids going for it, just
moshing at
bouncing.
Linneman's.
Yeah.
You know, normally like you go to Linneman's for like a quieter like singer songwriter night, or some
Something a little
home,
more chill.
yeah, something like some homespun like folk rock maybe, like it's a pretty like mellow venue, but that was the craziest I've seen at Linneman's. And I mean, rightfully so. Like Diet Light are one of the best bands in the city, like absolutely. And they brought such a killer show once again. This was like I think, yeah, this is my third time seeing them. So that was on Saturday, really fun night. And then on Sunday, I went to go see Algiers at Cactus Club, which
Yeah.
uh, for those that don't know, Algiers, they're like a interesting like experimental group that combine like post punk with gospel and soul and like psychedelia with like also some industrial elements in it, and very very vigorous live show.
Hmm.
It was super fun. I've been listening to the band since their debut record came out in 2015, and it was a pretty quiet night on Sunday night. It was only like 20 people there at Cactus Club, and so like I got to talk to the band afterwards and tell them how much I've enjoyed their music over the years, and just to, like, have that intimate interaction with the band was super cool. And the band that opened for them too, Zen Mother, were really really awesome as well. Electronic, heavy rock music, also pretty experimental. But all of them were very nice when I got to speak to them, and that was one of those nights that reminded me like why I do what I do.
Yeah.
I go to these shows because like I'm excited to meet people and reflect on what I just saw and say a few words about it so that I can share it with other people. Be like, hey, this is dope. Check this
Go
out
check
if you
this
ever get
out.
the
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
So,
To be honest with you, that's kind of the joy of independent music too. The bands that you were talking to are touring bands from all over the country, and that's kind of a cool feeling to be like you're connecting and seeing something that you know isn't really on the mainstream level right now. And yeah, there was a show with 20 people, but you also probably made their fucking day too by like going up to them afterwards and being like, "Yo, your set was cool." Because like now they feel like they're getting through to people. They know that they got somebody listening to them in Milwaukee. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the joy of indie music in general is to have that personal connection. It's something that you don't get. You're not going to get most of the time mainstream artists that go and do something like that. And even
yeah,
if they wanted to, there's no way they could feasibly do it because they'd be mobbed by people if they were big pop stars or whoever. So something special for sure. And
definitely.
part of the joys of live music. Also, obviously, shout out to Cactus Club for hosting that show, and shout out to Jim and everybody at Linneman's. For those that don't know, Jim Linneman is a fixture of Milwaukee music, has been doing it for decades, just wants to have a great venue for great bands to play, and he has been killing it over in River West. We don't give him enough credit for sure. Got to give him a little more shine.
Totally. Shout out to Jim because I forgot to close out my tab a couple weeks ago, and I like called the venue like the phone number on that's on their Facebook page, and I'm pretty sure it's like just Jim's number.
Probably,
I
yeah.
think
Honestly,
it's yeah, and he yeah, my partner was able to pick my card up on the way to that Cactus show that I hosted that night. Um, but Jim was real smooth about it. It was very quick and easy. So yeah, love to the guy for sure.
yeah, shout out to them. And shout out to everybody that makes live music happen here in Milwaukee. We have a little bit more to talk about in terms of live music. We got some stuff coming up, but before we do that, we are going to get into the second video for this week. This is from Mowgli. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Ben. Mowgli lives out in New York now, I believe,
You know what? I don't
somewhere
know.
out that is not Milwaukee, but she's originally from Greece and had
Yeah,
spent time in Milwaukee.
Yeah, she's from Greece. Oh no, she's in she divides her time between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I met Mowgli a couple of years back when she was when we were working with J3 Studios on the East Side.
Okay.
Yeah, she uh, worked with us a little bit back then, and then ended up recording at Hi Fi Studio. And I haven't seen her in a while, but Mowgli rules, dude. Like Mowgli is so talented. She's super fun to hang out with, and she's got some cool merch. One, I just bought a hoodie from her.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, Mowgli has a special place in my heart because we go back, and she's always been super sweet and real and genuine about what she's doing. So yeah, this is a great new song and video from her.
Yeah, this is Lily. This tomorrow is the first day of fall, I believe, or maybe today is. I don't really know what day
I
it is
think it's
anymore.
today.
But this is your last little bit of summer then for sure, because this is Lily by Mowgli here on the Writers Room.
Siento la tensión cuando me miras. Siento la presión cuando me tocas. Quiero que vengas, venga a mí. Quiero que bailes, baila a mí. Quiero que vengas, venga a mí. Quiero que bailes, baila a mí. Move our bodies to the tempo. Come on, get close to me. Feel my heartbeat, baby, let's go. Try to keep up with me. Paso atrás. Can't love me like I love you. Quiero vengas. Just love me like I love you. Paso atrás. Can't love me like I love you. Quiero vengas. Just love me like I love you. Me pregunto que no es justo. ¿Por qué no puedes ser mío? Cuéntame, veas, me necesitas. Sabes que te quiero. Cuando me veas, me deseas. Sabes que te quiero. Move our bodies to the tempo. Come on, get close to me. Feel my heartbeat, baby, let's go. Try to keep up with me. Paso atrás. Can't love me like I love you. Quiero vengas. Just love me like I love you. Paso atrás. Can't love me like I love you. Quiero vengas. Just love me like I love you. Love me. Love me like I love you. Touch me. Baby, know you want to. Come back to me. Even in your wildest dreams. Working on the flags to me. Paso atrás. Just love me like I love you. Quiero vengas. Just love me like I love you. Paso atrás. Can't love me like I love you. Quiero vengas. Just love me like I love you. Love me like I love you.
All right, that was Mowgli with Lily, like I love you, here on the Writers Room. Um, that is, one of those songs and videos that does feel like summer. It just straight up feels like summer when you hear it. Great song, great video, and excited to see what Mowgli does. She's had a little bit of like a stop and start kind of thing, but once the momentum gets behind her, I think she's got a lot of potential for sure. So uh, we were just talking about some of the live music that we have been to, but there's a lot of great things happening in Milwaukee music going forward too. And there's a lot of great music on breakingandentering.net as well. But let's talk about some of the shows that are coming up real quick. Some of the things we got tomorrow night at the Cooperage. We are sponsoring another edition of Mid Coast um, with a pretty stacked lineup. Once again, I am pulling it up as we speak, just so I don't misspeak on it.
I
I
do
know
know
that
that North Warren's going to be on there, and I'm very excited for North Warren.
that was exactly who I was gonna say is there. Mid Coast.
We also got Fat Nerds too.
Fat Nerds, the full record label is there. That is Nile and Crew, um, and then two other acts, which if the internet would work would tell me. But it's at the Cooperage.
One
See
of
if you
them
can.
is Jonathan Newcomb, who I actually also don't know. So that will be an exciting new opportunity for an artist we haven't seen. And then the last one, I can just pull it up here. Give you the old alley oop. You know?
Thank you.
It's or Jonathan McComb, excuse me. That was his name.
Okay.
Oh, Moonglow. Moonglow.
Oh, sweet. Yes, that is awesome.
I know. We love Moonglow. We've loved them since they became a band.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I caught Isaac at that Linneman show on Saturday, and he said that they're kind of wrapping up recording an album. So we'll be getting new music from them soon. Very exciting.
Nice. I saw Moonglow. We booked them for Air in the Square this year in the summer. The one that did happen. And I mean, they absolutely blew me away with their live presence. I think it was Dream World was the first song that I had heard from them, and that song was on repeat for me. But seeing them perform live, they're younger. They look like they're college kids. You think, okay, maybe a little rough around the edges. Maybe that's me now being old and jaded. But I just think that I saw them perform and I was like, these kids are naturals. They have it. So, I mean, if you do get a chance, make sure you go out to the Cooperage tomorrow night. I believe you do still need to mask up there. I have a vaccination policy as well. But all that benefits a great cause as well. So make sure you check out Mid Coast as well. I believe they're streaming online too. So if you are not able to make it, you can still at least catch the replay of it, you know? So
yeah,
there's that show. And then Friday night, I heard that one Yogi B and Keys would be returning to the Tonic Tavern, which is, I think, one of the first shows back at Tonic in their main room. I don't know if it's in the main room or if it's in the side room, but it sounds like it's going to be a pretty great show. It's Chris Counterfeit, who some of you might know as Alpine, as the DJ, Yogi B and Keys, and I am Mark Andrew. Mark Andrew is also going to be there tearing things down, but Yogi B and Keys and Schleeberry were one of my favorite shows that I think we ever put on at Tonic Tavern. And it was the first time that we couldn't leave the stage because it was so packed in there that we just physically could not get to the bar or to the door or wherever we had to go.
I remember I was there. I remember that was one of the first times. It was like right when we first met, and like I remember coming to that show, and that was the night I met Pat.
Yeah,
and you were like, "Hey Pat, come here. This is Ben. He's going to be writing for us.
He's the new guy."
And yeah, and then I remember that was also my first time seeing Schlee and Yogi B and Keys.
And she made you chug a beer.
I did. I was brought him to the stage, chug a beer, and I got a Schlee beanie out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, what a classic night. That was a really fun night.
Yeah.
Also, like one of those nights that just, it became very easy to be excited about Milwaukee music for sure.
I'm pretty sure that I grabbed you after you chugged the beer with Schlee and said, "Welcome, you've been initiated." And I also might have been a little drunk by that point. So, entirely possible.
Hey, still in the game,
Yeah, but make sure you check that out Friday night as well. And then Saturday, because music festivals are not completely done, the Equinox Music Festival is happening over in the Brewery District. I believe it's 4 stages of live music, kicking off at 4 p.m. and going all the way to 10. I know Paper Holland is on that bill. I believe Abby Jean is on that bill. Classic is on that bill. A whole host of other acts. So if you really want to get your Milwaukee music fix, you can do that too. That is Saturday over at the Brewery District over in the Pabst Brewery. If you don't know where that is, it's just a little bit west of Fiserv Forum downtown. So it's up in the hills there, in the Brewery Hills. But shout out to Mark at No Stu or at Best Place and everybody else putting that thing on. That's going to be one hell of an event. You know?
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun. I won't be there because I'm working, but be there for me.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, and everybody else needs to fill Ben's presence.
Do it.
So
Friday night, I'm actually going to be going to Bremen Cafe though, because we got some a show from some of the like indie rock scene. We got Indonesian Junk and
Sweet.
Floor Model,
okay,
both Milwaukee bands that we've covered several times over. And I think there's another band that's coming from out of town that night. But I've wanted to see Indonesian Junk for a long time. They've, dropped some really fucking good records in the last few years. For anyone who likes glam rock and power pop music.
if you ever listen to Cheap Trick in your life, you should listen to Indonesian Junk because they're also named after a Cheap Trick reference. But I digress.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be going out to Bremen on Friday night for a good time. In terms of music that we've been covering, though, so there's been a lot of stuff that kind of came out in just the last week, I feel. And obviously it was a lot to stay on top of because of Summerfest on top of it.
Yeah.
But so to start, we got a collaboration tape from Vincent Van Great and Amanda Huff this weekend. And it's really fucking good. I mean, obviously it's really fucking good. It's two of Milwaukee's greatest. But to have the synergy they bring is just so creative and inventive. It's kind of a record about like just going after pleasure in life and just challenging the status quo and breaking the rules a little bit. It's terrific. So go listen to that.
The Troublemakers EP is up on breakingandentering.net today. I got to get a little preview of it in the live setting because I saw him at Summerfest, and he brought out Amanda Huff to come perform. And by tomorrow, hopefully, there will be an interview with Vincent Van Great from before that show. That'll be up on breakingandentering.net as well, and as well as our YouTube page. And if you want more exclusive Summerfest content, you can do that over at Patreon. But but the combination of Vincent Van Great and Amanda Huff, it works so well together. Amanda is an amazing vocalist and really knows how to work around what she's given. And Vincent Van Great is somebody that, is a producer first, so he knows how to provide that sort of sense for her too. One record I have to ask you about, Ben, because I've not had the chance to hear it yet. The new record from Osseo looks very, very interesting to me. I'm a sucker for albums with cool album art, and that is what they have. But just the whole appeal of Osseo being a new band, and I believe being a new indie rock band, they're one I want to check out. What did you think of the Osseo EP that's out? I believe EP.
Yeah, Osseo's solid. We got wind of them, through the best way to submit music to us, which is via email.
Yep. You can do that for real quick. info@breakingandentering.net. Don't DM us. info@breakingandentering.net. Send us your stuff there. We will check it out. Okay, go ahead.
Please.
Please.
Yes, please. It's a solid new band on the block. I feel like, finding a new band in Milwaukee music these days honestly kind of feels like unlocking like a new weapon or like a new skill in a video game, that like you didn't know was there, but it's been there, and like it's like a little hidden, but it's hidden and you really have to go find it,
Right.
That's what finding a new band feels like these days. But yeah, it's solid emo. Emo indie rock with a lot of pondering like existential questions and yeah, it's I'm gonna actually pull up the exact verbiage I used because I
I'm gonna listen to it tonight either way. I'm gonna check it out and make some dinner and listen to it. Um, yeah, that is a good way to put it though. It's a solid emo record, so I wanna make sure I check that out. The other one that I'm excited for is that we got new music from the Nile Club as well, which that's a band that you just saw live too. I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly
uh,
certain somewhere.
I actually have not seen them live.
Oh,
Uh, I but I do have a funny like connection with them
okay.
that um it's just like it's really interesting. The drummer for that band, because they're only like they're younger guys, they're like college kids. The drummer for that band is the son of my former roommate. Um, so I was introduced to them via her, and I know, yeah, they released that like an EP, I believe, a couple of years ago, and I sent that over to you. You covered it, but now they're dropping new singles and have new music on the way. Clearly, so I believe they're playing X-Ray Arcade soon. Um, so
Yeah.
I hope to check them out. I think they're playing Bremen as well very soon.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I'm hyped on that record too. Um, just a lot of great stuff. There's honestly so much, and a lot of it is hitting our social media this week because one of us fell asleep at the wheel, and that would be me. Um,
um, so yeah. Also, we got a new record from Anomaly, a death metal band.
yeah,
If you like sci-fi themed melodic technical death metal, then go listen to Anomaly.
that's
There's a
very
lot packed in
specific,
there.
but I like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, how about that new Felix Ramsey record that just came out that you covered?
Yeah, Gray Area is really cool. Felix Ramsey is somebody that really first just popped onto my radar, really within, I want to say probably within the last year because it's been since we started doing Breaking and Entering Radio. I think I started hearing music from Felix, and the album feels really good because it feels good to hear him in a complete project sense, whereas I'd only really heard singles from him thus far. Um, the name is perfect, Gray Area, because the production is really hazy and just kind of feels like not like gloomy sad, but it
Yeah,
definitely does not feel like these are like club records. And it's
sure.
perfect for this time of year when it's shitty and gray out because this seems like it's music that you can just kind of jam out to while you're like doing stuff around the house or going out for a nice brisk walk. All sorts of fall activities are happening, but I think that I'm excited to hear him in the full album, and I hope that people that have heard his singles so far get to get a more expanded view of what he's been putting out, because he's really quality, and I think that there's a lot of potential for him to do some pretty great things in the next few years.
Sick.
So
Yeah, shout out to Felix. Two more things I really quickly want to talk about: the new Him Who record,
yeah,
uh, which is like Him Who I believe I found through Mike Regal. Sent me his record
yeah,
that came out
I do
earlier this
remember.
week,
Yeah,
and what a really talk about an artist who's pushing sonic boundaries. I mean, what a experimentally dense record. There's a lot to enjoy on Him Who's record. Retroactive Phenomena is the name of the one that just came out, but
hmm
it's funky. It's got some hip hop. It's got that '80s like synth pop vibe. And it's also very personal. There's a lot of very personal subject matter on there, so go check that one out. And then finally, we can't conclude the writers' room this week without talking about the new reality TV video, Toby Maguire,
yeah.
where Sling
Moses
Troubadour
Slang
becomes
Troubadour,
not just any Spider-Man, Toby Maguire Spider-Man, like
just him.
specifically. Yeah, and it was that thing was hilarious. If anyone wants a good laugh while also enjoying a really good song, check
Go
out
check that video
Reality
out. Yeah.
Video. Yeah.
Yeah, we taped Breaking and Entering Radio last night, and I was like, I introed it, and I forgot that it wasn't on Spotify yet. So it's going to be completely off on Thursday's episode, but that's fine. But go check that video out because, man, solid work from them, and shout out to the whole Higher Education Records crew in the process. But yeah, there's tons and tons of really great music happening in Milwaukee. Tons of great events still happening. Things are kicking back at full speed, and so you should go out and enjoy all of it and support as much of it as you can. We are going to do that here by playing our next video, which is from the Keystones. Indie rock band, alternative rock, kind of fits the mold of what they're doing. But they also really you can tell that the effort is being made when they put out new material. So you'll see that with this stellar looking video. This is Time Will Tell by the Keystones on the Writers Room.
Seem to fall a little short, try and fail, fight and sleep, constantly falling to my last resort. Wanna leave, but always stay. I'm out of line, I begin to fade. Heavy eyes, feel like I'm dead in the end. I'm still stuck in my head, and time will tell. Just face it, I don't know myself, and time will tell. Maybe I should just face it, that I don't know myself. I'm falling to pieces, I can't seem to find my redemption in all you demons. Well, if you find the devil, tell him I need an extension. Giving up and giving in, hiding from a fucking sin. You tell me I can't live to die, even still we're caught up in a lie. And time will tell. Maybe I should just face it.
That was the Keystones with Time Will Tell. Ben, that song is fucking catchy. There's really no other way to put it other than that song is so catchy. And if you have not heard what the Keystones are doing, check them out because they're one of the tighter indie rock bands coming out of the suburbs, if I can go so far as to say that. But yeah, they're on top of their game for sure, along with all the Milwaukee artists that we are covering at Breaking and Entering. So,
oh yeah, we touched on a lot of things today.
I was gonna say we hit a lot. This is one of our longer shows, but I'm okay with that because there's stuff happening. We got a lot going on. It's been busy. This is a chance for Ben and I to catch up. We haven't really gotten a chance to see each other other than Summerfest. So,
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's exciting to just, like this is like how busy like I normally was, like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Just going to shows every chance I got, and it helped when like I actually worked at a venue before, where like you could clock out of work and
Hang out
enjoy
at the show. Yeah.
yeah. But now it's like it becomes it's a lot more like intentional to go to a show and make time for everything. And yeah, I'm just very happy that we're doing that, that we're taking it seriously, not taking it for granted.
Yep.
But yeah, in 2 weeks we'll do it all over again.
Yeah,
Talk
absolutely.
about a bunch of shit. So
Yeah, absolutely. For those that don't know, if this is your first time tuning into us, 2 weeks from now, we will be here, 5 o'clock Central Time, hanging out, talking about some more music. In the meantime, you can keep up with the latest in Milwaukee music over at breakingandentering.net. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. If you want to support us and what we're doing, especially the hard work that Ben is putting in, going out to these shows, and if you want to support that monetarily, you can do that over at patreon.com/breakingandentering and get some exclusive content there as well. We may or may not have some goodies in the works as we approach the end of the year. So you should get onto the old Patreon as fast as you can, because there's a lot of great shit happening over there. And I don't mean that in any sort of exaggeration. We got a lot of great stuff happening. So in the meantime, I think, Ben, we are out of here. I'm gonna hit you up because we'll be at some show this weekend, I'm sure. So
probably, yeah, right on.
So
Good shit, dude.
All right. Well, that is it for us. We will see you in 2 weeks here over on the Writers' Room. That's the button I gotta hit for the outro. I'm hitting it. It's not happening. Oh no. Ben, I'm hitting the button and it's not going.